G'day and welcome back to Torment Thursday. Last time we solved a bit of clockworkery, we got a focus, and most importantly, we finally got to rest. So our cast-off here actually has some decent stats to use on tests again. And we can chat to people like Mimeon and Casbin here. You return, revered one. How may we assist you today? Do you have any supplies you could share with me? Sure. Oh dear. We're a small group and not wealthy. We exist on donations, curios, and the occasional great gift from one of your siblings. For instance, we had a weapon once used by the Chalcedon. The Chalcedon, commander of... My point is, we require some payment for our wares. Well, that was rude. Alright, what can you tell me about the beliefs of your church? Well, we tell the world that you and your brethren are aspects of the divine truth of the changing God, that each of you brings forth a particular facet of his truths. We seek to study you so that we can become more like you. Her teeth gleams as she smiles at you. What are the benefits of joining this organization? We can provide our adherents with useful items. We can offer safety against the depredation of those who would harm them as they sleep. And our members may be available to aid each other in specific situations. What can you tell me about the other cast-offs? We've spent years compiling our records, revered one. I know the time seems as nothing to your kind. We must protect our knowledge. Perhaps if you were to join our group, provide some of your experience to add to our knowledge. Who did you say could lead me to the repair of the resonance chamber? I have consulted my records and made inquiries on your behalf, revered one, but I've been unable to ascertain any truth. Like the clock, this is beyond us. Perhaps the cast-off who aided in its construction, your sister, the Albino Matkina, might be able to assist you further. Seek her in the underbelly. Okay. Farewell. These guys are much less devoted to me and my siblings than I would like. Charge me for frickin' sleeping there. Charge me for supplies. Make me have to actually join their religion to take advantage of it. I don't know. Not keen on this whole system. Alright, let's go down here and actually, do the typical adventure thing. There's a box I can open when the open inventory opens. And I should do that. Or maybe the game will just crash. Nope. Spray flesh and a shin. Sweet. So spray flesh is not even Numenera. It's just an item that's heal for might. That's nice. Veridi. What's Veridi? I'll take it, mind you. That, however, is a cipher. So now we load up the inventory when it loads. I really wish this ran better on my computer. I don't know why an inventory would take so long to load. Okay, let's have a look at this. I guess the white is our affinity, like title affinity. Okay, so you get this black pill squirms and jiggles in your hand. It's a true sight pill, also known as a veridi. When someone swallows the pill, it heightens their sense of sight and sound and taste. It further enhances their ability to perceive everything around them. Plus one training in perception until you next sleep. Nice. Elegant, take that. So basically, because there's the limitation on ciphers, I should probably actually be using them more. They are literally like everywhere though. Yep, look at that. Go around a corner, find another thing. Okay, this is a cipher. This eyeball and stalk are clearly not human. The eyeball itself has an odd opaque green color, but odder still is the fact it maintains a moist, lifelike feel. Swallowing the eyeball with some difficulty imparts some of whatever this creature was harvested from. 3 points of might heal and permanently increase might. I'm just going to use that. Straight up eat that eye. Delicious eye. So that should have also boosted my character's might. Let me actually double check that though. We did have 7 before, I hope. Otherwise, oh, it's the kind of thing that I could check by reviewing the recording. One of the, minor perks of actually having these things. Okay, here is a marketplace. I think before I go to the marketplace, I want to see this weird place up here. Spectator, Levy, Excited Man, Death of Reese, Devourer of Wrongs, Reese, People, Typer, Ian the Overseer. Alright, let's talk to Tibbler, or Tibir. I don't know why the game's decided to kind of hitch. Game? Game, please. Game, please. Ah. Because for some reason, I just stuck back there. Oh, and there's a creature here. Okay. Tibir. Come on. Pacing the edges of the crowd is a paunchy old soldier with the swaggering stride of a boulevard cavalier. At the moment, however, his jauntiness seems overshadowed by worry, and he alternates between watching the execution and searching the crowd as if looking for a miracle. Then his eyes light on you. I say, you look like the sort of fellow who believes in justice. Would you like to help a poor soul wrongfully condemned? What kind of help do you need? I don't need anything, but my friend there lies on the platform is dying. The nightmares his executionists have induced in him spill from him with every line he speaks and wrap around him like a snake. He glances at the execution. Already the coils grow thick. In another day, maybe 2, they'll choke the life out of him. I cannot imagine a more horrible way to die. Well, that's not true. I have an imagination that would shame a sailor. You'll need to be swift and willing to hold justice above law, but there is a way to save him if you'll hear him out. Who are you? Captain Lachlan Tybia, retired. Extremely retired. Once a soldier of fortune, now it's plaything, but my story can wait. Saving Reese's life comes first. Why is your friend being executed? A misunderstanding. Reese and I were hired to deliver some expensive brandy to an out-of-town buyer. He raised a sigh of relief, waited with disgust and regret. Would you believe that the bottles were stuffed with state secrets? Reese was accused of selling information to the enemies of Sega's Cliffs. They called him a traitor. It was a travesty. The poor lad had no idea what was in there. Tragic. If he'd known, he might have escaped too. Then we wouldn't be in this mess. But you did, right? Well, there's a place for talking about what I know and what I don't. This isn't the place. You were part of that scheme, weren't you, up there with him? Look, I was out taking a piss when they came for him. Went through the back window and scampered up to the roof. I watched poor Reese being led away from my hiding spot. Swore I'd get him free. I hope it's a promise I can keep. Why are you helping Reese? Is friendship not reason enough? Actually, to tell the truth, there's more to it than that. I'm partly to blame for him being up there, and guilt's a strong motivator, eh? I want to talk to your friend. Are you mad? It's an execution. He's surrounded by levies. They won't let you near him. Even if they did, he's out of his head. You'll get nothing from gibberish from him. And if he doesn't speak gibberish, no, best to assume it's gibberish. Still want to try? As you wish, just don't say I didn't warn you, trifles. Levies are not to be trifled with. Ah, right. Okay, so here's what we used the town hall for. It should be nothing for someone of your noble demeanor to masquerade as a city official and ask the council clerk for an archived copy of an old stay of execution. Once you have it, I'll write out a fresh one and add Reese's name. Present to the oversphere, and all parties will be set free. There you have it. A foolproof, risk-free plan. Or, okay. Why do you need an unfamiliar face? Because the council clerk knows me now. I've been pleading Reese's case to him every day this week, but to no avail. The task requires a face he doesn't know, and hopefully he doesn't know yours, because then there'd no look for a forgery. You know what? This is a terrible plan. Really risky. I'll do it. Or at least I'll tell him I'll do it. Excellent, then you'll need a proper story and a badge of office. Fortunately, I have the first, and you can buy the second from Sengalin, the clothing merchant in Government Square. Once you have a badge of office, you'll tell the council clerk you're from the Judicial Oversight Committee looking into corruption and the commutation of capital sentences. The stay you're asking for is that of a notorious gangster named Colcarden, who was mysteriously set free a few years ago. Really interesting how everyone trusts you. That's something I hadn't really thought about in RPGs till fairly recently. When you get Carl's stay, simply bring it here to me. I'll make a copy with Reese's name on it, and you can give it to the overseer who'll frame. You see, simple. Now, if you'll let me join you, I'll be happy to show you around the city with all this and whatever else you have going. Yeah, sure. It was my pleasure. So, here we go. We got a new companion. Ho ho! Who are you? I don't want to talk to you. I want to look at your inventory, buddy. And it's actually, because it's actually in memory right now, super quick. So you are a cautious glaive who brandishes a silver tongue. Hey! You know, familiar sounding-ish. And yeah, so he's a fighter and a lover. Whereas Aligon is a tough nano who fights with his demons. And interesting that he's actually a higher tier than either of us. He's kind of tier 1.3, other than the 1.2 of each of us. Can I level Aligon? Or is that something that you have to do? I guess he levels himself? Alrighty, so let's have a look at who we can chat to around here. Who's Otaro? Wind spins off the distant sea, sweeping between you and the boy, whistling up to the peaks of Sega's cliffs. He glances at you, then at the crowds in the plaza beyond. He appears to be looking for someone. Oh, are you wandering down in the reef? You get to that star before the others did? He looks at your face and grins. Guess not, that's the interface that found a good pick. A lot of people went looking for the star, did they? No, not too many. Gotta be a carker to go down to the reef. That place is haunted. Despite his hard words, his eyes settle on yours, studying, deciding. His mouth settles into an irritated line. Look, he says, running a hand over his stubble scout. You hide it well, but I can tell you're new here. I ain't trying to offend you, but I don't like leaving folks new to Segas on their own. If you have questions about the city or Circus Minor in particular, I'll answer them, free of charge. Of course, looks like you already have a guide, he says, straight-faced to Aligon. It might be better listening to someone with taste, or anyone else who doesn't think living in the underbelly is a good idea. A little extra advice never hurt anyone. Not everyone likes sleeping under the stars. Oh, the fresh air, or self-respect. Boy replies, grinning. Aligon rolls his eyes, but subsides, smiling. Anyway, what do you want to know? Looking for a woman named Betkina. Have you ever heard of her? Heard of? Everyone's heard of the White Death, deadliest assassin in Sega's Cliffs. Don't know where she is, and I hope it stays that way. What's happening on the stage? An execution. He says, rolling his eyes. It'll be gone for a few days yet. All those folks think they learned great truths from the nightmares of a dying man. He shakes his head. It's not worth my time. It might be worth yours if you haven't seen one before. Does anyone around here know how to fix complex machinery? Prada, that's a bug lady in the market, pretty good with machines. Might ask her. Otherwise, you'll want to visit the foreman in the underbelly. They might be able to fix it if they can stop fighting long enough. Yeah, those seem like good ideas. What are you doing here anyway? Just got back from a scrounge. I'm here trading salvo for supplies before I set out again. Enjoying the sights, you know? Where would she have gone if she came here? And why? Can't help but notice he doesn't seem to be enjoying himself. He looks downright unhappy. Guilty, even. Who are you looking for? He flinches, then glares at you. At first, it seems like he's not going to answer. A girl I met a while back, he says, at last looking away. She was new in town. Like you, wondering what happened to her, if she's okay. Anyway, you have any other questions? Didn't look like she broke camp, more like she left in a hurry. Boo. So we're in Circus Minor now. Yeah, out of the city. Levies and politicians will tell you the common square is the center of Sega's cliffs. They're not sinking right. He spreads his hand, framing the plaza. When folks come to Segas, they come here. They talk and trade, flirt and fight, tell stories. Everyone who comes here leaves different. His hand's full. Anyway, what do you want to know? I want to ask about something else. What can you tell me about this city? Depends what you want to know. I spend most of my time in Circus Minor. There's other districts too. Government Square, Cliff's Edge, Underbelly, and the Caravanserai. There's also the Reef of the Smaller Fallen Worlds, but we've already been down there. Tell me about the Reef. Only carcass slavers, bullies, and diggers desperate for scrounge go there. And you, of course. He stares past you down the winding steps. Besides, folks think it's haunted by ghosts from the previous worlds. Seen him enough down there to agree with him. But it's dangerous enough without worrying about ghosts. Or here's a local Galaglass came up with a corpse over his shoulder, bragging he was the one what did it. Why doesn't local law do something about him? They might one day. The Reef isn't part of their turd. It don't belong to anyone. How about Caravanserai? We haven't been there. That's a port of Segas. Any ship that can fly lands there. Makes their trades, takes off for foreign lands. He turns a scornful eye towards the distant flags on the high crag. Plenty to see here, right in Segas. Don't know why people insist on leaving. It's very, appropriate for a young kid, I guess. Streetwise urchin. What? I want to talk to you, but fine. What do you think of what the cult of the changing god told me? They're just guessing. They don't know any more about you than I do. Shouldn't have bothered taking you there. Figured they'd know more than the order of truth. Hells, they spend all their time thinking about you. They should have should have a better idea than almost anyone. We should keep looking. What's your story? Maybe you didn't know this about me, but I'm not from around here. I was a local Aeon priest for a small Aldea far west of here. Things happened. I left. Here I am. Honestly, not interested in getting into it. Hardly know you. Where'd you get your tats? Born with them. No one's born with tats. He looks pointedly at your tattoo and doesn't say anything. You said you were an Aeon priest. What's the story with that? I worked with them for years, but when I came to them for help, they refused me. Gave me no time, no resources, and no aid. They said I had to give up my researches, said I was obsessed. They said it. Heartless bastards, how could I not be? Order of Truth and I don't get on. They think I'm cocked, and they think they're frauds. We exchange these little pleasantries every time we meet. Only got one friend left there. Can't contact him most of the time. Who's your friend? Fourth Fang, doing a little research for me on the side. Personal work. Why did the Aeon Priest think you're cocked? Come on. Because I speak my mind to him. That's it. That's all I wanted. Let's keep going. So yeah. That's interesting looking. There's no peace, blah blah blah, don't really care that much. The Genocide, that's a name. Okay, let's just take all this stuff. So I think this is what should be in the stores, but all the merchants just don't do anything at the moment. That's my suspicion. There's not really seen much in the way of stores in the beta. Okay. This burly, armor-clad figure stands almost motionless as you approach. He regards you silently through his singular eye. The studs on his arms and the blades on his shoulders are stained and pitted with age. When he speaks, his voice is muffled and artificial, a hollow grumble that emanates from the entirety of the helmet. I am the Genocide. If you ask, I must answer. Pass on, then, and exchange no words. His surface thoughts are like a crystal pool, alternately transparent or else perfectly reflecting his words. His mind reveals nothing hidden except for a low-level hatred of everything around him. This latter is more a feeling than you get than an actual thought you hear. Who are you? I am a blade that cannot cut, a weapon that cannot strike, a living monument to failure. He shifts his weight. You hear the frown in his voice. I was converter of the Tabat. They called me one of the Black Three. They took my name to mean death in a dozen extinct tongues. They gave me the titles of Orphan Maker, Hope Smasher, Death's Child. My armies blackened the earth and the skies. My Dracolis scoured the land. Domination was my duty. He gestures. All this, it was to have been mine in stewardship for the future of my people. It was promised. But now, his arms fall back to his side, now I am the Genocide, a relict, the last of my kind. You said you were the last of your kind, but why? I know of no others. Saken Vanders is dead. Haran Ain was destroyed. The underspine has fallen. My people are destroyed utterly, and our servant God speaks to us no longer. The clean lines of order and glory of battle have forsaken us. The rest are dust. We rose against a superior foe and were outmatched. Only I remain to tell the story of the Tabat. Wait, you can tell me where the other Tabat are again? The rest of the Tabat have gone to dust. Only I remain. You said you had to answer if I asked. Why? From within the helmet you hear a grinding noise, the sound of teeth gnashing amplified. Then the voice again, bleak. We sat at the river's edge, and we wept for the time that was. We saw nothing more to conquer, and yet our fears still drove us. We had conquered the land, purged its impurities, made it ours. Still we wanted more. When we heard that the humans had come to carve a home, we rejoiced to have a new foe, a new test of our truth. We rode against them. We drove them to the forge of the night sky, to the valley of Mra-Jolois, to the dangers of the Black Riage. But those who built their home atop these ruins, they thwarted us time and again. And so we brought our strongest constructs, our deadliest warriors to the bay. We ringed the city. We entered the human settlement, fought past barricades and traps. Some of our constructs are still here, silent and dead. But when we had thought we achieved our greatest victory, a powerful Nano saved them. With his magics, he called upon the strengths of the ancients and captured us. I thought my life was at an end, but he imprisoned me in slow time, trapped me in my body, used machines to paralyze my will. I still remember our glories, and I see our faded future in front of me, and I am powerless to act. The memories of our triumph will always remain at the forefront of my mind, and I must answer the mocking questions of these people or suffer. Can you tell me about the Nano who trapped you here? You know, not to dwell on this or anything. The Genocide raises his hands in defeat. He found old knowledge and made it his own. He created defenses we could not penetrate. Most telling, most effective, the shield generators. He created 3 barriers around the heart of the city, and the last unmoored the city in time. When our constructs touched it, they flashed to stasis. We could not reach the city, but the city could reach us. You feel the ticklings of memory as the Genocide speaks of S.H.I.E.L.D. He continues to talk, oblivious. The memory come. It's a patchy memory, coming in still images and moments. The relentless beach of war machines as they approach the city. The reavers in the sky on their dirigibles. Then the memory fades away. Tell me again about the nano who trapped you here again. I am not required to speak of him again to you. The compulsion has been satisfied. Seem very calm for someone who's been in prison for centuries. I have been defeated. I have nothing to fight for. My captor gilded me with a tool they made to dampen my natural urges. I can remember the actions. I can recall the glory, but I feel shame, regret. I am weakened, but not by my volition. What does it matter? Those who stood against me are all dead. I am victorious. I no longer fight with a blade. My weapon is time. I do not die. I cannot be wounded. I am held like a beetle in sap. Why would I not be serene? The Underspine spoke of my destiny. I was to wage war unto the edge of the universe. But the universe keeps going, and so, it seems, must I. Someday I will be free. Until then, I am incorruptible. How did they stop you from trying to escape? The nano who raised the city's shield created a device. He called it the Mind Seer. With it he violated my mind, my memories, and everything was at the core of my being. In a fit of vengeance, he tore truths from me. He made me betray my people. He rewrote my mind. He gave me perfect clarity into the past and gelded my ability to shape the future. The Tabat never sought revenge against foes who were mightier than we. We devised stratagems to defeat them. We tested ourselves. We did not punish or hate. Punishment was purification. This, though, is torture. The worst of the city's refuse can mock me now. They can ridicule and jape, and I am powerless to strike them for their impudence. And now they do not even do that. I have become a fixture, an irrelevance, a non-entity. And I am the slave to, you hear his teeth grinding as he thinks of the perfect insult, to peacemakers. I must endure their presence and feel their corruption sink into me daily. Some foreign part of me desires it. He thumps his fist into his hand. But I remember that I will triumph over them. Eventually they will die, and I will not. The nano who defeated you as a changing god, he and his children are still alive. His voice is flat and dead. Others have claimed this. I do not know if they say this to torment me, but if our enemy was a god, even if he once was a man, then to stand against him is to spit into the face of the divine. The Tabat were a holy people. Humans do not believe it, but our rights were as sacred to us as they were profane to your kind. We accepted the will of the ineffable. You mentioned shield generators. Can you tell me about them? I told you their effect. They unmoored the city in time. They severed our supply lines, left us vulnerable and defeated us. The Underspine strategy failed us. I began to doubt. The generators are unused, their purpose forgotten. Though the people of this city still swear by our name, and our terrors are fresh, they have forgotten the means of their salvation. One of them stands not far from here. Unlike others, it still functions and powers the clock around those ridiculous fools' prance. Okay. I have no more questions. Goodbye. No, I wish you no good tidings. So, this may be one of those shield generators as well. This machine towers above you like a dagger driven into the ground by a giant. It seems much older than the surrounding buildings. Your hands itch to touch the array of dark panels scattered around the machine, as though they've touched them before. Let's have a look-see. You note at least 20 different known technologies melded into this once functional generator. Once again, you notice this circuit symbol etched into the side like a maker's mark. Yeah, so this is almost certainly a similar thing. And let's have a look at this set of things. Assorted rocks and boulders and debris lie here in a misshapen pile, having broken free of the surrounding cliffside some time ago. The sedimentary layers tell a tale that spans ages, but your geological preoccupation is interrupted by a curious discovery. What you initially took for natural occurrences in the rock appear to be remnants of ancient devices. This is kind of common in Numenera, because you have millions of years of civilizations before you. Like, even the very dirt contains broken down plastics. So, yeah. Alright, let's do this. Attempt to extract one of the devices. Hey! Takes some doing, but you manage to chip away at the side of one of the boulders enough to wrench free one of the devices embedded in it. So it looks like this is a source of various Numenera. One of the things I do find kind of annoying is I can't say, hey, one of you guys, you should do this for me. Let's have a look at it, and I think we'll leave it there. So the flickering cloak is a device you can use in a crisis that decreases your defense test difficulty. So it's basically a piece of armor. I might even sell that if I could. But in the meantime, there you go. Alright. I think we will leave it there for now. Been a pretty good exploration day. I really liked the discussion with the Genocide. And we picked up another companion. It's been pretty good. Yeah. I think we can do this. Until next time, have a great day. Bye.